Welcome to PNC Park on a Fan Appreciation Day Sunday afternoon. And the number one fan of the starting pitcher, Paul Mulholland, is 2-year-old Wyatt Mulholland coming to watch his daddy pitch on the final day of the home portion of the Buccos schedule. The Pirates take on the Houston Astros here in Game 3 of this 3-game weekend set. Hi again, everybody. With Bob Walk, I'm Tim Neverett. Pirates even the series with the Astros with a win last night. They'll try to take the series today in the rubber game. Andrew McCutchen 2 for 4 last night. Pedro Alvarez 2 for 4 and a 3-run home run. The young players are getting it done here late in the season.
Yeah, really fun to watch. McCutchen, since his first day in the big leagues, has really had a lot of success, but he is really heating up here in the month of September, setting the table. He's out there to use his speed, get on base, and score when the big guys come up. Watch this. This is just a base hit. Looks like a single over the shortstop's head. He turns it into a double. It's just awesome watching McCutchen play right now. And, of course, Pedro Alvarez, who has been a little up and down in his first year in the big leagues. The consistency not there yet, but when he is on, he is providing some big RBIs.
McCutchen and Alvarez, good numbers last night. 54 runs batted in for Pedro, 55 now for McCutchen. The pitching matchup features Jay Happ against Paul Mulholland. Mulholland making his 152nd start since the 2006 season.
Yeah, Mulholland coming off a real good start in his last outing. Wants to finish this season strong. Jay Happ has been on fire since the acquisition. Really a great trade for the Astros, picking up the young left-hander.
Pirates getting set to wrap up the home portion of the schedule. Jay Happ and Paul Mulholland. The end of the season is in sight. Final preparations being made for this one. The Pirates hope to roast the Astros in this finale.
Is brought to you by PNC. PNC for the on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by PNC. PNC for the achiever in us all. By Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. And by your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward.
Final home game of 2010, the Astros and the Pirates here at PNC Park. Brad Mills lineup for the Astros. As Jason Bourgeois leading off, Angel Sanchez batting second. Hunter Pence in the third spot, 11 out of 35 in his career against Mulholland with 4 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers. Then it's Carlos Lee back at first base. Keppinger, Michaels, Johnson, along with Castro behind the plate, and Jay Happ doing the pitching and batting ninth.
Let's take a look at Paul's numbers real quick. 8 wins. He'd love to get number 9. And then he would have a shot at number 10, get in double figures on the road trip. Got to win this one, though.
So Bourgeois stepping in against Paul Mulholland. Paul, again, his 152nd start. Now, that's a significant number because that's more than any other left-handed pitcher in the National League has made since Paul's first full season in the majors in 2006.
Been a workhorse.
And Paul making a career-high 32nd start. 3 straight seasons with 30 or more starts. Bouncer to Andy LaRoche. He'll take care of it. And quickly, 1 out. Rest of the defense behind Mulholland, Tabata, McCutchen, and Garrett Jones making an appearance back in right field today. Pedro's at third, Ronnie is at short, Neal at second, and Andy LaRoche makes his second start at first base. Chris Snyder doing the catching. Andy?
A pinch hit home run. First game of the series, Friday night.
Yeah, you said that felt really good. It was a long time coming for him.
It did.
His 4th of the year.
It's been a tough role for him to get figured out. They play ever now and then and pinch hit. It's been something that he's had to get used to, and it's been a difficult transition.
1-1 to Angel Sanchez. Sanchez at 283. Manzella handled the shortstop duties last night. Sanchez started in game 1 Friday. 2 balls and a strike now to Angel Sanchez. Started the season with the Boston Red Sox and was traded from the Red Sox for cash. Not real money. A guy named Cash. Kevin Cash. A catcher. 2-1 is in there for a strike. So if anybody asks him who he was traded for, he can always say Cash. They never know the extent of the details.
Nope, just cash and move on.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Angel Sanchez.
Nice off-speed pitch. Sanchez really finishing that swing a little on the awkward side as he was way out in front. It's another thing that it's been very consistent. All those innings he has pitched, will also that delivery of his. He's not had to mess with it too much over the years. You know, some guys are always trying this or that, you know, changing things. Sometimes going up over their head with their hands. Not a lot of you know, messing around with Paul. He hasn't had to experiment with a lot of different things. Tries to keep things very simple.
Hunter Pence has been a pest, to say the least. He's been doing his job, but
almost call him a stink bug.
You could at this time of the year, yes. They are also pests. Hitting .460 against the Pirates, and he puts one up the middle for a base hit. See?
Yeah, stink bug.
So Hunter Pence is aboard. Seems like he hits in every game. He did have 1 hit last night and then starts today with this one.
Just finds a hole just past Mulholland's glove and squeaks up the middle.
Carlos Lee, the first baseman today. Lee hitting .244. Pence a runner aboard. 2 outs, top of the first. And Lee down to third. That's past Alvarez and into left field. Pence coming around second, and he's going to get waved home. The relay will be held by Cedeno, and in with a double is Carlos Lee, a 2-out run scoring hit, and Pence comes across to make it a 1-0 Houston lead.
The pest. Just somehow eluding the glove of Pedro. Looked like Pedro had a bead on it. Missed it clean. From Pence. He's not a burner, but he has a much better than average speed, so he scores without a play on that ball in the corner.
28th double for Carlos Lee. El Caballo driving in a run for the Astros. Now Keppinger flirting with 300, 293 the average. Hitting the 2 spot last night, went 0 for 4. Batting 5th here today. On Friday, he hit in the 5th spot and had a pretty good game. Ended up going 3 out of 4 and drove in a pair of runs. He had a double and 2 singles and a sacrifice fly. 2 outs. Lee is at second base, and Mulholland's pitch misses outside. 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes now to Jeff Keppinger. Keppinger's been very steady for the Astros. Has turned into a good solution for them at second base. Kaz Matsui was the man at the beginning of the year, but he came down with a leg injury and also battled inconsistency. And the Astros ultimately let him go. And Keppinger has stepped in nicely.
Well, the Astros as a club have really pulled themselves up really by the bootstraps after a horrible start to their season.
First 51 games of the year, the Astros were 17-34. The last 104, they're 10 above 500 at 57-47. Brad Mills in his first year as skipper didn't like the start, but didn't mind the finish. Bouncer to LaRoche, he'll handle it himself. Astros get a run on 2 hits. They leave a man, and through half an inning, it's the Astros 1, Pirates coming to bat. For the Bucks leading off, Andrew McCutchen. Jose Tabata on the 2 spot. Tabata hitting .304. This homestand 11 out of 29. Neil Walker hitting 3rd. Then Garrett Jones in the cleanup spot. Alvarez 5th. Cedeno, Andy LaRoche in the starting lineup. Chris Snyder hitting 8th. Paul Mulholland doing the pitching.
Happ's numbers on the year. This will be his 43rd big league start. And he's looking for his 20th big league win in his career. He is a bright young left-hander.
Our PNC achievement today, Andrew McCutchen this month through 22 games. Great numbers, 308 average, 6 doubles, 4 homers. He's driven in 15 and his 16 runs scored lead the team. Our PNC achievement for the achiever in us all. 1 ball, no strikes to Andrew McCutchen. 281 is his average currently, and the left-hander Hap deals, and that is outside, ball 2. Last night, McCutchen reached base 3 times in 4 at-bats, reached on an error, and then had a single and a double, scored twice. And he is ahead 3-0. So the Pirates trying to get the tying run aboard here quickly in the bottom of the 1st. And a 4-pitch walk is issued to Andrew McCutchen. In the outfield for the Astros, from left to right, Jason Michaels, Jason Bourgeois, and Hunter Pence. At third base, good-looking rookie Chris Johnson. Angel Sanchez at short, Keppinger at second, and Carlos Lee at first. Jason Castro makes his first start of the series behind the plate. Jose Tabata. He looks at the first pitch for a strike. First strike thrown by Happ today.
The thing you don't want to do, number one, when you're starting a ball game, is walk that first hitter, that leadoff hitter. The first inning. He's usually a fast guy. In this case, he is a very fast guy, but you're trying to have a clean first inning. It's so important for the game. And you open it up with a base on balls. It's absolutely the wrong move.
Strike 2 to Tabata. Well, Tabata came up twice last night with McCutchen on base in front of him. Once he tried to bunt, popped it up foul, and it was caught by the catcher, Humberto Quintero. The next time he went up there thinking swing, and he got one up the middle, scoring McCutchen. Here comes the 0-2. Nope, he'll throw to first. Last time against the Bucks on the 15th of August.
A little wild that day. 4 walks in 6 innings.
Happ now concerned with McCutchen.
That first move wasn't that good. Kind of a token toss. That looked to be his better move. And McCutchen back easily. So that's a good sign if Andrew's thinking of running.
Nothing and 2 the count. Here's the pitch. And Tabata takes high, a ball and 2 strikes. Nice day for a game here today. 64 degrees at game time. Just a perfect early autumn afternoon. A little bit overcast, but some sunshine peeking through.
Breeze is blowing down the river this afternoon. Might be tough to get one out toward the bullpens.
To right field. And Hunter Pence makes the catch.
There's a wind blowing kind of across right now from left to right. Old Glory directly behind the bullpens. So as it's blowing in, as you could see, well, it's hard to hit a ball out right there. You're going to have to cut through that breeze.
Neil Walker, switch hitter, batting right-handed against the lefty Happ.
Trying to get that batting average above the 300 mark, sitting at 299.
Fouls it back. Neil was voted Rookie of the Year of the Pirates among the players in their own player vote in the clubhouse. And he finished 1 vote shy of team MVP. Andrew McCutchen, the man at first, got that. But Walker finishing just a vote shy of team MVP and was voted team's Rookie of the Year, again by his peers, the players in the clubhouse. 0-1.
And that goes and misses. That really, I think, points out the transition this team has gone through. You know, you have 2 guys that split the MVP award, and Walker winning the Rookie of the Year award with their teammates, and these 2 guys, this is their first and second years. I mean, and Walker, even when this year is over, hasn't been here a whole season. Your 2 of your youngest players are already 2 of the guys that the team depends on greatly for their offense. There they are right there.
McCutchen with the leadoff walk is at first. Tabata's flying to right, so 1 down.
And Pedro Alvarez will be in that voting mix next year if everything goes correctly.
Oh, 2 is high. Fan Appreciation Day on this Sunday. Lots of prizes going to be given out, including a car. Fan Fans coming out to see their Buccos in person for the final time in 2010. Pirates still with 7 to go. 3 in St. Louis and 4 in Florida. Leave right after the game. Will be in St. Louis tonight.
Walker splitting time this year between the minor leagues and the big leagues, obviously. 85 total RBIs, 59 of them here at this level. He may challenge 100 RBIs next year.
1-2, foul tipped into the glove of Castro for the out.
It'll take McCutchen and Taba having a good year, but Walker, perhaps Pedro, will be exclusively hitting in the cleanup spot next season. Walker coming up empty with that swing. But Alvarez, I don't think it's too much to expect 100 RBIs out of him next year.
Well, considering he has 54 right now, and he's been here for half the year, he would project to be a 100 RBI guy. And you hope that he would get a good start in April, have a real hot April and May, and then carry that over. But for a lot of these guys, it's their first experience playing baseball past early September, or even mid-September in some of their cases. Haps 0-1. And Jones bangs it foul, 0-2.
You know, I was talking with Rob before the game, Rob King, about Jones also. You know, if you look at his numbers, 31 doubles, 20 home runs, 82 RBIs. You know, that's not a horrible season. I know that I think expectations maybe were a little high for Garrett, but if you look at his numbers, first full year in the big leagues and you put up those kind of numbers, that should be acceptable. He's hitting .250, and I think he'll be better next year, starting his second full season in the big leagues. So he's going to be in that mix also somewhere. I think Pedro is going to overtake him as the RBI home run guy on this team.
Strikeout, 2-3 the putout. 2 men go down on strikes, and McCutchen never gets off first. 1-0 Astros. Tuna curve in 132 games. He had 131 hits, 33 doubles, 9 triples, 48 runs batted in. He stole 33. Very solid season for Chase Darno of the Eastern League champion Altoona Curve, Pirates AA club. That's our easytouse.com minor league connection. With Bob Walk, I'm Tim Neverett. Nice Sunday afternoon at PNC Park. 1-0 Astros, top of the second inning. Left fielder Jason Michaels facing Paul Maholm. 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Michaels, then Chris Johnson and Jason Castro. 6, 7, and 8 in the order for Houston. 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Best homestand of the season for the Pirates, without doubt. Through 8 games, the Pirates have won 6. The chance to win 7 of 9. Michaels hammers this one to left center field. This one's going back toward the notch, and it is off the top of the wall. Michaels Cadillacing it into second base.
Thank goodness for that wind.
Held that ball up.
Just a little bit, just enough to hit very top of the bullpen fence.
Well, Michaels was admiring his handiwork as he got out of the box. He thought it was gone.
He misread the wind. About a foot from the top. You see it carrying out. Good job by McCutchen. He realized he wasn't going to get there, so he put on the brakes, put his back to the infield, and just played the rebound.
Chris Johnson leads all rookies in batting average with .321.
I always think that's very important for outfielders to know their limitations and make sure they're in a position to get that rebound and minimize the damage. Most triples come from.
Alvarez throws out Johnson.
From an outfielder trying to make a catch on what should be a double, not being able to get there, then the ball bounces as some kind of crazy rebound. There's nobody to get it. Guy goes to third.
It's Jason Castro. Caught 62 games this year, 4 out of 17 against the Pirates. Leadoff double for Michaels, his 12th double of the season, and Johnson grounds out to third. Now Castro. It's a big batter here with the pitcher Happ on deck. And there you go. Yes, he went, says Alan Porter, third base umpire.
Yep, he went. He headed the bat well out in front of the plate.
Home plate umpire today is Phelan Cobra. He's the crew chief. Todd Tichenor at first, Ed Hickok's at second, and Alan Porter, who just rung up the strike, is at third. Mahalam's 1-1 to Castro. 2 balls and a strike. Trying to get him to chase a breaking ball. This really is the guy that Mahalam wants to get. Happ on deck is hitless this year for 2 teams, Philadelphia and Houston.
That was a big play with Johnson getting him to ground out to the left side. Not able to move the runner over.
Missed outside, 3-1. Yeah, if that ground ball's to the right side, then the runner moves.
Yeah, Castro's hitting with maybe the infield in right now. Or the infield's back, and he's got a chance to hit a ground ball and score a second run for the Astros. Little tiny thing that they didn't do correctly.
Count full to Castro as Mahalam comes back to deliver a strike. Paul, 3 straight seasons of 30 or more starts. First guy to do that for the Pirates since Bob Veal did it 7 times in a row from 1964 to 1970. Strike 3 called. He got him. A hard-earned strikeout. Strikeout number 2 for Paul.
Came back the long way. Right on the outside corner, right at the knees. Right at the knees. Hall of Fame pitch. Castro didn't like it, but that's the way it goes.
Jay Happ, big cut and a miss. He is 0 for 24 this year. Jay Happ, 27-year-old, former college pitcher out of Northwestern. Strike 2 call. Well, what a year Happ had last year. He came second in the National League Rookie of the Year voting. Although he did get the National League Rookie of the Year in the Players' Choice Awards, and Sporting News voted him the National League Rookie of the Year. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. So the Astros waste the leadoff double. Mahalam strikes out the last two.
Is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day.
This day in Pirates history, September 26th, 1992. Andy Van Slyke, Jeff King, and Gary Reedus each had 3 hits. Lloyd McClendon hit a grand slam, and Barry Bonds hit his 32nd of the season in a Pirates 19-2 win over the Mets. Bob Walk picked up his 10th win of the season, and John Wayner had a pinch hit ground out that day. This day in Pirates history, brought to you by Day Automotive.
Obviously, they knew who to give the run support
to. Well, Rock
to.
did not factor into the outcome. That was a shame. Pedro Alvarez up there. He hopes to factor into the outcome today. 1 ball, 1 strike. He certainly did last night. I think a 3-run bomb to right. 13th homer of the season. 54 runs batted in the major leagues. 53 in the minor leagues at the time of his call-up. Hot shot down to Lee. It eats him up.
That'll be a too hot to handle, I would think.
It is a base hit.
Call it a hit.
Well, Carlos, which do you like better, first or left field?
Well, that ball came up, got him right in the wrist. Pedro's been centering some balls up of late, hasn't he? Even though the ones that aren't going up off the wall or over the fence, he's taking some hard outs.
Ronnie Cedeno at the plate. Now he swings and he loops one towards center field. Long run in for Bourgeois, but he's going to make the catch. Looks at first. He won't make the throw, and Pedro gets back. 1 out for the Pirates in the bottom of the second. Here's Andy LaRoche. Andy was the winner of this year's Roberto Clemente Award for the Pirates. Outstanding community service work. Did a lot of work with special needs children and Down syndrome kids. In fact, yesterday I had a good conversation with Andy about what he did yesterday morning. He was at the Miracle League field in Cranberry. I said, well, how did it go for you? He said, I don't know. My feelings were hurt. I said, why? He said, I pitched and I gave up 20 runs. He said, they just destroyed me.
He definitely is not left to let his troubles on the field affect his good work he's done off.
Friday night he came in as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning. Carlos Lee had trouble with that ball too. And Andy gets his 4th homer of the year. He said that felt very good. Long time coming.
It's easy to go out there and do all that good work in the community when, you know, things are going great for you on the field. Everybody loves you, star of the team, all that stuff. And then when you're scuffling, to still go out there and make that effort, I think that tells you a lot about Andy LaRoche. So he is able to shrug that stuff off and still do what's important to him.
2-2 now to Andy. His dad, Dave, former big league pitcher, was here for about a week. Just left the other day. He was here watching him through the first part of this homestand. Two and two. Alvarez off of first, 1 out. Chopper down toward third base. It'll stay fair. Throw is not in time. A base hit for LaRoche. Pirates in business with 2 on and 1 out.
2 strikes, right-handed pull hitter. You got to play it back as a third baseman. And just not a whole lot you can do when you get that little topped chopper in front of you. LaRoche beating it out fairly easily.
He never looked. Once he realized where the ball went, he put his head down, went into a full sprint.
All looking can do is slow you down.
Chris Snyder a chance to drive in a run. Tying run in scoring position now. Astros with a 1-0 lead. Chris Snyder with 14 home runs. He's driven in 46 and splitting the catching duties with Ryan Doumit. 1-0 from J. Happ. To the right side, and Carlos Lee tackles that one. Steps on the bag, and there are 2 down. And move the runners up. Well, visit the official online shop of the Pirates at Pirates.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Pirates.com shop. Accept no substitutes. Shop from the comfort of your own home, if you wish, or office. Castro blocks that one. 1-0 to Mahalan. Jason Castro had to do all he could to keep that ball from going to the backstop. Alvarez has scored on a wild pitch. He did it last night in the 8th inning.
Got that one in there. Right on the forearm.
He was lucky.
Another inch and a half, 2 inches outside. That one would have been to the backstop.
One and one. And Paul goes to the left side. And now Sanchez throws, and he's got him. That ends the Pirate threat. On to the 3rd at PNC Park. 1-0 Astros. There's Lauren Holly and their son Azar throwing out the first pitch today. Andy LaRoche doing the catching. And, of course, Lauren, along with Ray Liotta and a great cast in the movie Chasing 3000. As Andy congratulates him. And now Lauren joins us in the booth.
Hey, that was pretty cool. I didn't get to see that.
Now you did.
Now I got to see it.
You never know what you're going to be filmed doing.
I don't think
when
he'll
you're on the
ever forget that.
That was a great first pitch. Most people don't get it anywhere near
I know,
where it can
right?
be caught. So
that's why I was worried when
neat.
he asked if he could do it. I was very thrilled. I wrote a whole story about it actually on my blog on my website.
Jason Bourgeois to lead off here in the top of the third inning, 1-0 Astros. He tries to bunt his way aboard. Tell us about the film. I know it's about a pair of brothers who followed Roberto Clemente and the movie Chasing 3000.
And they stole their mother's car, which would be me, to drive all the way across country when they weren't supposed to so that they could see his 3000th hit. You know, that was a very where were you when moment.
Yeah.
You know, it was a big deal. He's loved.
Well, we know our colleague who's in the radio booth today, Steve Blass, was Roberto Clemente's teammate then here. And so we know where Steve was. We think we do that day, although there might have been an APB out for him. Who knows? But Roberto Clemente, certainly a polarizing figure in this community and all around baseball. Ground ball to Alvarez, and Bourgeois is out one away.
It was I guess kind of an odd thing about the 3000th hit that, at the time it was a big deal, but nobody knew that was going to be the last hit, obviously, at that time. And that really, looking back on it now, makes it such an important event in his life, in all of our lives, really.
And he was such a wonderful man, too, besides that, and such a humanitarian.
Angel Sanchez pops this one up to right center. 2 away now.
He had to enjoy doing a movie of that type.
I love baseball, so I was thrilled to do it, and even watching the movie and seeing all that footage and everything was so thrilling.
Of course,
this is a beautiful park.
Isn't it
nice? Gorgeous, isn't it?
I just have to say, it's
lovely.
Beautiful. When we got here last night, our hotel, our view is of the park, and we had the pleasure of watching the night's game while eating room service dinner. It was fantastic.
I don't know if there's a better setting for a baseball game than this, all summer long.
It's just beautiful.
We see them all around the National League, and there are some nice ones, but
and
this
just
is
walking
awesome.
across the bridge, coming to the game, it was really special.
Chasing 3000 is available on DVD at Giant Eagle right now. Want to get a copy of that? It's going to be a must-see for any Pirate fan. Again, Lauren Holly with us in the booth. And Lauren, a very accomplished career you've had. Of course, you've been on television and in many, many films. And this is certainly one because you like baseball that I think you're going to remember. You probably have had some assignments along the way that you probably said, oh, yeah, I remember doing that. But this one you probably really
Well, that's the thing.
Out.
We all have that, right?
Yeah.
There are some things that just stick in your memory, though, and this one was a special one.
And there's some things you'd rather have not stuck in your memory.
Yeah, maybe just forget
I wish
those
that would
for
go
a
away.
second.
Yeah. Hunter Pence with a 2-1 count on him, 2 outs. That pitch inside and low. Of course, the guys that we travel with and the guys that are around sports, I guess people we associate with all the time, one of the other movies you're in is always a favorite, Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, yeah. I it's funny because I know that I've got a lot of players in various sports that are fans because of that movie. And I have been very thankful of that over the years for getting tickets and things like that. But apparently it was it's a favorite to watch on.
Where we go, a lot of times up on the scoreboard, different stadiums, and here at our ballpark, they'll put up guys' favorite things. And a lot of them are the players, what are their favorite movies? And all 20% up have to be Dumb and Dumber.
That's
it's
fantastic.
always up there. They
you know
love
what
that
the
movie.
best thing about that is that when we made it, we had such a good time and we laughed
That had
every
to be a blast,
day.
yeah.
And then when it came out, the critics killed us. And we were so embarrassed until the box office started and people started talking about it. And those very same critics now refer to it as the iconic comedy.
Oh, it's classic.
So you just have to go, if it's funny, it's funny, right?
Hunter Pence draws the base on balls, a 2-out walk. Now Carlos Lee will come up. Well, I was going to introduce Bob as Harry Dunn. I was going to be Lloyd when we came on, but
No, you guys are doing way too well right now for that to be. I wouldn't have bought it. There's nothing falling off the table, you know.
Yeah, what are the chances a guy like you and a girl like me? You know?
More like 1 in a million.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you guys practice that.
Don't have to. I've seen the movie more than once. And I plan also to see Chasing 3000. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll see it shortly.
You're doing just such a good job of pushing that.
Well, we are. It's
much.
important, I think, for Pittsburgh fans to get a perspective because these fans were not from Pittsburgh. They were from another area in the country.
Right.
I think it shows how Roberto affected them, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Ground ball to Cedeno, and that's going to do it for them. Lauren, pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, thank you
Best
so
of
much
luck.
for having me
Okay.
here.
Lauren Holly with us here in the booth. Chasing 3000, now available on DVD and Blu-ray at Giant Eagle. Back with the bottom of the third. 1-0 Houston. McDonald's High School football rolls into Ram Country for a Quad A showdown. Erie McDowell brings their high-powered offense to Pine Richland, where they look to prove they can cream the District 7 crop. Erie McDowell, Pine Richland, Thursday after Pirates postgame, right here on FSN. And the pitch hits McCutcheon. So Andrew is aboard for the second straight time. 21st straight game, by the way, he's been on first.
Leading off an inning second. Now, last time he didn't do anything. He just stayed down there. I wonder if maybe that fastball up and in might have got his attention. See if he decides to take off. Get into scoring position.
Well, McCutcheon with 32 steals. Got on first last time and watched the next three guys make outs. And with a 1-0 ball game here, still early on, be good to get a runner in scoring position. Throw to first base. Jose Talbot at the plate. He flied to right first time up. What a start to the career he's having. You think he just turned 22. He's just going to get better.
When you look at the changes that have been made by bringing up young guys, in most cases the changes have been for the good. You know, I think that's a little out of the ordinary. A lot of times when you bring up young guys, they don't click. But the Pirates have been right on in that department.
Well, it happened right away with Jose that June evening in Washington when he was made a big leaguer for the first time.
But you go all the way back to last season, early on, when you're bringing up McCutcheon and Jones. Those guys after a month, were our two best players by far. I mean, that was two great additions to the ball club. And now this season, with Walker, Tabata, and Alvarez.
Hot shot out of play.
I mean, can you find 5 young players that have come up at the same time and have been bigger contributors to their team than these 5 young guys? You look at their RBIs and what they have done, and this is just the start. They will get better than what they are right now.
Tabata to right again, but foul. One and 2 to Jose. Tabata trying to get McCutchen moved over. Jose left Friday's game early with some irritation near his left kneecap and said he was okay to play yesterday and did. Here he is again today. Ground ball to short. There's one. And that's not 2. Well, McCutchen retired at second base. McCutchen slow to get up. Now he's up and heading off.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a routine double play. Tabata hit that hard right at the shortstop. Well, he kind of got a little bit of a knee to the head, perhaps, why he stayed down for a little while.
1 out and 1 on. McCutchen's okay.
A poor turn by Keppinger. The ball was gone before McCutchen ever got there. Keppinger turned what looked like into an easy double play into just 1 out. McCutchen roughed up a little bit on that at bat. So got a smile on his face, got hit, and then caught a knee.
To left center and shallow. Angel Sanchez takes care of it. 2 away. Well, in case you missed it last night, Texas Rangers clinched the West in the American League. First division title since 1999. They are the only team that has gone to the postseason and never win a postseason series. Trying to change that around this year. Rangers winning the West. Minnesota has won the Central. And Tampa Bay and New York still fighting in the East in the American League. 1.5 separates the Rays and the Yankees. And if the Yankees lose to Boston today and Tampa Bay wins today, Tampa Bay would clinch a postseason berth, at least with a wild card. Oh, 1 to Jones. 0-2 to Garrett. So as we come into the final week of the season, see a 1.5 separating New York and Tampa Bay. Boston pretty well out of it now with a week to go. Central's done. The West is done. Magic number to clinch the division.
The wild card's done.
Coming down to the end of the week. Runner goes. Throw is not in time on a stolen base for Tabata. His 18th.
Glad to see that the knee problem wasn't anything serious. When he left the other day because of irritation with the knee, that always kind of gets your attention. You don't want to hear about stuff like that. He's running well this afternoon.
Now the Pirates have the tying run at second base. 1-2 to Jones. Lifts it down the right field line. Pence is over, and he will not make the catch, but it's a foul ball. Pence gave it a good effort.
Well, that had to be very close to being a fair ball.
And Jones thought it was fair.
It's where, if he touches it, it's where it's touched. No, he didn't touch it yet. Foul for sure.
So Tabata and Jones will go switch places. Jones will come back to the plate. Tabata back to second.
I said it had to be very close. Well, obviously it didn't have to be very close because that one wasn't. hit 2 feet foul.
Still 1-2. Knapp looks at second. Now comes home. Inside 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Pirates trying to get Jose Talbot at home. Jones hangs alive as Castro couldn't hold on to the baseball. We told you about the American League situation. National League still undecided in the West. Rockies still with an outside chance, 4 back to start the day after a win last night over San Francisco. And San Diego playing Cincinnati later. Jones to the right side, and Keppinger plays the hop. Pirates will strand another runner. We're through 3 innings. Still a 1-0 Astros lead. Left last night's game after the 4th inning, reporting right knee soreness. He had a tough night too. He shatters his bat here in an infield pop-up and then doesn't run it out. It gets dropped, and a situation he probably should have been at second base, instead stuck at first, and then he got picked off second here. So a rough night for Bacher all the way around. Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Jeff Keppinger, 1 pitch, 1 away, flies out to center. So Bacher sitting this one out today. Bacher could be available to pinch hit as a left-hander off the bench. Pirates have 3 left-handed possibilities off the bench, not to mention 3 switch hitters who could go from that side as well. Strike called.
Michaels hit that ball off top of the fence. Since then, things have calmed down for Paul. He was able to strand him after that leadoff double.
Yes.
Slow afternoon nap.
Perfect weather, huh? Great sleeping weather right now.
Yes, indeed.
That doesn't mean we want you to go to sleep.
Starting to get cool. Fall starting to sneak in.
Nice with the windows open at night.
Stink bugs come in if you leave the windows open.
Well, I don't know about you, Bob, but we have screens that keep them out.
They chew through the screens. Haven't you ever seen the teeth on one of those things?
No. To left field, and Michaels is 2 for 2. Chewed through the pitch of Mahalam. Got himself another base hit.
Surprised we don't have any in the booth here.
Had one the other day over in the other booth.
Just one, though.
Just one reported sighting. And he was quickly disposed of. We've not seen the return of any of his friends.
That's what happens when you get rid of all the spiders and you get attacked by the stink bugs.
Well, the stink bug attack here, Bob, in a booth was nothing like the spider attack we had in Wrigley Field.
That was an actual attack.
That was like ninjas hanging from the ceiling, waiting. They were suspending from the ceiling, waiting to jump on you. It was amazing.
That was an attack.
It was an ambush.
No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Still have nightmares about that ball game.
The funny part about it was Cubs television also showed the spiders, and the Cubs were so mortified they brought people in after the game to spray.
Yeah, next morning they were gone.
2-0 to Chris Johnson. And a ground ball towards second base. Walker flips to Cedeno for one to first. Double play. Pitcher's best friend. The double play. No runs, a hit. That's it. Through 3.5. Still a 1-0 Astros lead.
Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. It was Pedro Alvarez 3-run shot last night. He is heating up, hitting the ball well here in September. That's the Cold Hard Blast, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Pedro looking to dial long distance again. He's 1 for 1 today with a single. Like to get the Buccos on the board, trailing 1-0. Bottom of the 4th inning. Bob Walk, Tim Neverett, glad you're watching Pirates baseball with us this afternoon. Final home game of 2010.
Take a solo shot right now.
Why not?
Just tie the game up.
You know, he doesn't have a splashdown ball yet. Wind won't help him much.
He's kind of dying down, not doing anything right now. Won't help or hinder.
Things will be different for Pedro next year, especially early in the season, because he'll come into spring training knowing he's at the top of the depth chart in the big league club.
His offseason is going to be very different for him now. A lot to think about. He'll be able to really, for maybe the first 2 or 3 weeks after the season's over, really kind of sit back and enjoy what he went through this year. Think about how I made it. I made it to the big leagues. I had pretty good success at the big league level. And this was the bad part. This was a good part. How do I fix the bad stuff? Which basically is just cut down on some strikeouts. Just get a little more consistent. centering up the baseball, driving it. I think he's been very good at hitting the off-speed pitches this year. I think he's going to be challenged even more next season with fastballs in, trying to tie him up in on his hands. That'll be something he's going to have to adjust to.
To right center, racing over is Hunter Pence. And there's one down.
My favorite part of the day, trivia question.
That's right. Time now for our AT&T Mobility trivia question, brought to you by AT&T Mobility. Rethink possible. A simple question today. What is the latest date that the Pirates played a home game? Latest date the Pirates played a home game.
Regular season?
Latest date the Pirates played a home game.
Well, that wouldn't be regular season then. That would be postseason.
Well, the way the question reads.
Okay.
Is
latest
how
date
it read.
They played a home game. Okay.
I would assume that if they had intended it to be a regular season game, the question would have read slightly different. 1-1.
I'll say October 13th.
That'd be a guess.
On 71-79, they finished on the road. Correct?
Correct. 1960 was
a home game.
Forbes Field. 2-1, and Cedeno lifts it to center field. Bourgeois is there. 2 down.
A 7-game series, playoff series, and 90 and 92. Those were on the road. They finished.
Well, speaking of 1960, I'm not sure how much was talked about it this week, but I think it's still a fascinating story. I'm very anxious to see it. In Bing Crosby's basement, the tapes of Game 7 and the entire telecast were found. They were uncovered recently.
I can't wait. I think MLB is going to put that on in December sometime.
Looks like it, yes. And we hear so much about it. We hear so much about the players, and we've met the players and seen them honored. It'll be great to see them in their primes playing baseball in 1960. And not just Maz's home run, but everything that led up to it. Because it was such a great baseball game. And to be able to see that start to finish, that is going to be wonderful to watch. Ground ball to short. And Angel Sanchez throws out Andy LaRoche. Quick inning. 1-2-3 go the Pirates in the 4th. Astros be batting in the 5th when we return. The collection features game-used lineup cards, jerseys, bats, bases, and more. To get your authentic Pirates merchandise, just stop by the Majestic Clubhouse store at PNC Park or visit pirates.com/authentics. Lineup cards have become a pretty neat item to have. Those are all authenticated. There'll be a sticker on them from the authenticator guy.
I'll put the sticker on. Make it official.
I've seen the authenticator guy at work. I've seen him here with his little shiny stickers and make sure things are right. Ronnie Cedeno a little bit late getting out of the dugout.
Probably some kind of equipment malfunction to take care of.
So ready to go in the top half of the fifth inning. 1-0 Houston. Jason Castro, the number 8 hitter in the order, fouls the first pitch away. He struck out looking in the second inning, and Paul Mulholland really worked hard to get that strikeout. He was behind in the count, had to come back, and then finally got him with a pitch right at the knees looking. Castro didn't agree. 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pirates at home, 39-41, have a chance to finish a game under 500 at home if they can pull off a win today. Get some runs for Mulholland. Ball has a complete game shutout. That was against Houston here at PNC Park. 1-2. One thing I talked to John Russell about the other day, Bob, is this time of the year when you're not in playoff contention, you get down to the end of a homestand, you're finishing on the road, guys are packing their bags. I mean, Friday in the clubhouse looked like the baggage carousel at the airport. And they've got other things on their mind as well as trying to finish their jobs for the year. But I asked John, how do you keep guys focused at this time of the year? And when they go between the lines, they're focused, they're professionals. But there's a lot more, I think, outside things that are going through their minds earlier in the day and during parts of the day when they're in the clubhouse.
No, I think that could be a good thing sometimes. That guys get a little, especially nowadays, they come to the ballpark so early. I think it's good to not be 24/7, either staring at some kind of game film or, well, nowadays playing some kind of video game in your locker. That's obviously popular. I think it's good that you have some outside interest. That you should have something to occupy yourself the beginning part of each day. I talked about that with Ollendorf a couple of months ago. That he has a lot of interest and things that he cares about outside of baseball, and that he sees it as a healthy thing that he can escape the stress of being out here at the game, like going and talking to his dad about the Longhorns, right? Not the Texas Longhorns, the actual Moo Cows.
Well, he is interested in those Longhorns too, though, being from Austin. Castro down on strikes.
I really think it's good then to have the players having some other things to do during the day other than sitting in the clubhouse. There's too much of that goes on nowadays.
Jay Happ takes ball 1. There is Ross. Ross on the 60-day DL, done for the season. He's looking forward very much to 2011. He's been throwing a little bit here and there on flat ground on the side. Says he feels great.
What kind of off-season plans he has? Last year he went to Washington, D.C., spent some time as an intern. The Department of Agriculture, wasn't it?
Right.
He definitely has outside interest.
I think this year, he told me he's not going to do that. He did feel that it took some time away, perhaps, from his off-season conditioning and preparation. And although he did enjoy it very much and would like to do something like that again at some point in time in the near future, but he thinks this off-season he's just going to be back on the ranch, worrying about the big old cows.
That'd be good for him.
In fact, when we went to Colorado, he went out a day early and met his father there, and they drove to a town about 2.5 hours away from Denver and bought some cattle. Happ down on strikes. All right, Bob, you got to get your answer here.
I said 13th.
You said October 13th. The answer is the latest date that the Pirates played a home game. October 17th.
1991.
You pitched 4 1/3 innings of relief that day.
I said 90-92 we finished on the road. It could have been 91, I guess. But 17th.
Don't you keep records of when you were working?
I knew I pitched in that game. That game probably that year might have been, everybody was very disappointed in the way it ended the year after that in Atlanta. But that year we went home with the lead. All we had to do was win one game, and we lost the last 2 at home. And that actually, in a way, was more. And we probably had our best team that year of the 3 division winning teams. We still had Bobby Bonilla. We still had Smiley.
Long way to go for Andy LaRoche, and they're not going to make the play.
That was a tough year.
Tough play for any first baseman to make, regardless of your experience level there. But Andy, with some decent range, was able to get over there and make that catch. Just couldn't finish it off with a throw.
It's tough to lead that pitcher. Of course, he should have been standing at the bag instead of making that play over there. But that's his inexperience showing. That's just a routine ground ball to second baseman.
Scored a base hit for Bourgeois. He's 1 for 3 now. And here's Angel Sanchez. Sanchez 0 for 2. Strikeout victim in the first. And he flied out to right in the third. Bourgeois could be a threat to run. 11 out of 15 stolen bases attempted. That's what I attempted to say. Michael Bourne still out, missing his 7th straight game.
Nice job by Andy on that ball. That was a tough one to go after. Bourgeois coming back in. He's having to go over the top of him, try and knock that ball down. And that ball probably should have been down the line.
Two outs, top of the 5th, 1-0 Astros. The pitch, and that is a strike to Sanchez. Angel Sanchez. Looks like he may be battling next spring with Tommy Manzella for the shortstop job. Manzella had some injury issues this year. Did he leave it out? That's the question. And the answer from first base umpire, no.
I don't know.
He got away with one.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think he left it out.
Oh, why is he bunting? Isn't there 2 outs?
There are.
What's wrong with him?
Well, don't try to stop him. It's not a smart play right here.
Well, you know, what you have to decide is that are you more likely to bunt for a base hit or swing away and get a base hit? And if you swing away, there's a chance you'll hit a double and maybe score a run with 2 outs.
Cedeno does not get the final out. So Ronnie Cedeno is charged with an error.
Probably should have been an out. Ball came up on him a little bit, hit him in the chest. It just rolled away too far. There's that last hop. It comes way up. Now, that was a bad hop that he took in the stomach. Instead of dropping right down in front of him, went off to the side. Got something wrong with his thumb there too, doesn't he?
Looks like the fingernail. He's got it taped up.
And the nail maybe was coming off.
And the guy you don't want at the plate, Hunter Pence.
Well, that thumb being taped up, maybe an explanation of why he was a little late coming out of the dugout between innings.
Two on, two out for Houston. 1-0. 0-1. Broker's bat. Loops it to center. Long run for McCutchen. He's able to catch up to it. And the Astros strand both base runners. Halfway home at PNC Park. Pirates looking for a run here. Park. It's perfect for corporate events, weddings, bar mitzvahs, holiday parties, and more. Catering options are available in the Lexus Club, Pittsburgh Baseball Club, or the Trip Total Media Hall of Fame Club at PNC Park. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or Pirates.com/PNC Park events. Chris Snyder leading off. Up in the air to left. Michaels underneath it for the out. Quick out here in the bottom of the fifth. Up Paul Mulholland. Pirates need to find some offense, Bob.
Yeah, we're getting in the second half of the game now. Still just 2 base hits. But you knew going in that it's going to be tough. Turned out to be a very good trade, don't you think, for the Astros?
Getting J. Happ.
Yeah, getting plus getting Oswald's contract off the books, frees him up to do some things this winter maybe, and Berkman's too.
A couple of days before the trading deadline on the 29th of July, a swap was made. It's going to be a foul ball. And I mean, it's worked out, I think, for both teams. Houston, a team building, and J. Happ, just 27. He still has a lot of good years.
Yeah, I think
Roy Oswald is he's the kind of pitcher you get for a club that needs a veteran guy who's really reliable, and you can count on him down the stretch, and that's what they've been able to receive out of Oswald. So it's worked out for both parties so far. Strike 3 call. 2 outs. Phillies, by the way, are losing 5-0. At the top of the fifth. New York Mets have the lead, and Washington leading Atlanta 2-0 in the National League Eastern Division race. Atlanta 6 games back of Philly and are now tied with the Giants for the wild card lead in the National League. All going to come down to this week. No choice, has to. Final week of the season. 7 games to go after today for the Pirates, 3 in St. Louis. St. Louis leading the Cubs right now, top of the third, 4-0. And the Cardinals start the day 6.5 back of Cincinnati. So 6.5 back with 7 to play. Still mathematically a chance for the Cardinals, but the way Cincinnati's been playing, pretty slim. 2-1 to McCutchen. But an important game tonight for Cincinnati because they can clinch. McCutchen, a base hit to left. Andrew McCutchen's been on base all 3 times. With 2 outs, the tying runs aboard.
Andrew's batting average has been climbing. They got an opportunity if he stays hot on this road trip to maybe push it up close to 290. Base hit right there will probably put him around 283.
Neil Walker on deck as Tabata takes strike 1. Pirates hoping to get to Walker. Jay Happ pitching to Tabata with McCutchen at first. McCutchen led off with a walk in the first inning. Was hit by a pitch to lead off the inning in the third. Has singled here with 2 outs in the 5th. There's Walker looking for his first hit of the afternoon. 0 for 2. Stretch by Happ. Long look at first. Now the 0-1. 0-2. Tabata continues to hit well since the All-Star break. He's second in hits behind Colorado's Carlos Gonzalez. Tabata with 85, Gonzalez with 91. Check swing foul.
McCutchen just doesn't seem to be comfortable out there trying to get a kind of a jump off Happ. Tabata was able to steal one fairly easily earlier. You know, I see McCutchen get back so easily on those pickoffs. Makes me believe that, you know, he's reading him, but then he could just be taking a one-way lead and, you know, leaning back toward first on his first move, which gets him going back to the bag and prevents you from ever being picked off. And right there, I think I could see a little lean back on the first move. Very conservative. Watch his lean back. Didn't as much lean back as he kind of sat down. You saw him drop his shoulders down. Definitely did not lean toward second, though.
Tabata down on strikes. Foul tipped it into the glove of Castro. And the Pirates strand another base runner. We're through 5 at PNC Park. On Pirates.com every day, you'll find up-to-the-minute Pirates news, ticket and promotional information, and front office web chats. For even more insider scoops, sign up to become a registered user to receive the eBucks online newsletter, special ticket offers, and other exclusive content. Pirates.com. It's kind of the center of the Pirates universe. Whatever you want, go there. It's there. If you haven't cruise by it, do so. You'll be there a while. Plenty to see. Carlos Lee batting in the top of the 6th inning. Maholm's 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes.
That RBI double in the first inning. A little bit of a surprise when you look at what Maholm's been able to do against Lee in his career. Lee only hitting $180 something at the start of the game against Maholm, and a significant number of at bats too.
Ground ball left side past Cedeno.
2 hits today. Go figure.
Now, Lee was 8 for 44 against Maholm coming into action today. Now he's 2 for 3 with a run batted in.
Hit that one sharply into the hole. Even if Ronnie backhands that one, I don't know if he can bounce up and throw him out.
Jeff Keppinger up for the 3rd time. He's 0 for 2. Bounced out to Andy LaRoche at first base. That was in the 1st inning, and then his next time up in the 4th, he flied to center. Jeff Keppinger, the hardest man in the National League to strike out. Foul ball down the left field side. Keppinger strikes out once every 15.3 plate appearances.
And historically, over the last couple decades, the Astros like to strike out. It's kind of unusual seeing one of their guys up there with a number like that.
Well.
That's a good place to keep your gum. If you don't want it when you're in the bases, it'll probably be there when you're done.
Possible double play. And they got 2. Buccos pull off the twin kill again.
It's the Coors Light 6th inning. Time to check out today's Coors Light freeze cam. Remember when Michaels was up the first time? Hit this one well. He thought maybe he had a home run, but it didn't make it. There you see it. It's frozen a foot from the top. That's today's freeze cam, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Jason Michaels at the plate now. I wonder how that gum tastes now.
This is good luck gum.
You suppose the flavor stays more intact on the side that's against the helmet or away from the helmet?
I think the flavor changes the further you get the gum toward the front, because then you get to mix in maybe a little pine tar with it where you've adjusted your helmet occasionally. Could you imagine that gum stuck to Delwei's helmet?
Oh, ground ball to 3rd. And Alvarez will throw out Jason Michaels. And Carlos Lee got himself into a sticky situation on the base paths. Final pierogi race of 2010. And they're off. But wait a minute. There's another contestant. It's Potato Pete, who makes a rare and unwelcome appearance. Potato Pete made the impossible possible.
Ended up with a win and coming out of retirement to get that win right at the end of the season. I don't know where he came from. He's been retired for a number of years. He looks familiar, though, and especially with the name Pete.
I thought he was exiled. But he's had an appearance here and there. When the Nationals brought their mascots, the presidents up, Potato Pete showed up. He didn't want to be shown up.
You can tell he doesn't run very often. Look how clean the hat is.
Yes. Apparently he's been away from PNC Park training. Training in the shadows. Potato Pete the winner today on the last day, last race of the year. 2-1 to Walker. 20-1 now. It's funny, you talk to people who've never been to PNC Park, they come for the first time. Oh, what do you like about the ballpark? Oh, I love the pierogi race. Johnson scoops it up and throws him out, one away.
I don't think I've ever met anybody come here for the first time that didn't just basically love the ballpark.
Everybody says that.
Place is a jewel.
Actress Lauren Holly, who was with us in the third, that's the first thing she said when she came in the booth. She said, this ballpark is amazing.
She talked about watching the game from a hotel room last night, looking across the river, walking across the bridge this morning.
Last night, the performers, OAR, who performed in concert, final concert of the season. They said the same thing. This is the best ballpark venue they've been in. (1-0). 2 balls and no strikes to Garrett Jones. Good group of concerts this year here at PNC Park. And next year, plans are in the works for another great concert series. 3-0 to Jones. This season, at OAR last night, Steve Miller Band was here. Luke Bryan, up-and-coming country star, was here for the final Sky Blast. And there goes Garrett Jones down to first with a 1-out walk. Tying run aboard for the Bucks. You look back to Steve Miller. Performed in a pouring storm. It was thunder and lightning. He finally had to be told he had to come off stage, basically yanked off stage in a thunderstorm. He didn't want to quit. Put on a great show.
Yeah, you're right. There have been some great concerts here this summer. It was a lot of fun. More to come next year.
Pedro Alvarez at the plate. He will take a strike. Barrel Automotive League leader stat. Most RBIs in the last 10 days. Well, nobody's got more than Troy Tulowitzki. Melvin Moore, his teammate, also there. But there's Alvarez with 11. Lucas Duda of the Mets with 9.
Need a hero right now.
Down the left field line and out of play. Interesting note on Tulowitzki, by the way. 8th inning last night, had a 2-run home run. Well, he had a 5th inning 2-run home run and a double in the 8th. He had a walk-off double, 10-inning win over the Giants. 15 home runs and 40 RBIs in the month of September. The only other major leaguer to equal or exceed that in the month of September in the history of the game, Babe Ruth.
Now that's put yourself among good company.
1927. course, everybody talks about the 27 Yankees, Murderers Row. 17 home runs and 43 runs batted in the month of September for Babe Ruth. Sammy Sosa in June of '98 had 20 homers and 40 RBIs. That was in June, but in September, only Tulowitzki and Ruth have big numbers like that.
RBIs month of September. That's a nice way to finish. Salary drive.
He's young too. He's only 25. That guy. Jones off of first, 1 out. 1-2 pitch coming to Pedro Alvarez. There goes Jones, and Alvarez hits it into the vacated hole. Goes into left field. Jones around second, heading for third. Pirates have something going. Well, Michaels dropped the ball, or failed to pick it up at first. But Jones has to stay, so runners at the corners now. Jones had a decent jump off of first base, running on the pitch.
He's taken off. His head's down, but the ball was hit out there in left field right in front of him, so it was an easy decision to make. He's just trying to steal this base. You got 2 strikes on you. You're just trying to get a ball put in play somewhere. That fastball was in. He fought it off and right through that open left side.
So Daniel thinking about bunting. He's got Carlos Lee at first base, and a left-handed pitcher falling off to the third base side. Might not be a bad way to get that ball in between the mound and first base and get a run in.
Yeah, that's what his thinking is get that ball over that direction and get that run in. Even if they throw him out at first base, you still get the run in. Whereas if he swings away and hits a ground ball, they might get a double play. But Cedeno does it an awful lot, especially when there's a left-handed pitcher on the mound. Likes to try and push that ball to the right side.
Giants leading Colorado in the first. Freddie Sanchez, a 2-run homer for San Francisco.
Colorado is desperate right now. They're about done.
2-0 pitch, first and third here. And now it's 3-0. This could be the inning for the Pirates. They get a run in and tie it, perhaps even take the lead. 1 out, runners at the corners. Strike is called, 3-1 to Ronnie. Chan Ho Park is loosening up. 123 wins for him. He and Hideo Nomo tied for the most number of wins by an Asian-born pitcher. And the next win for Park would make him the all-time leader.
It's a good opportunity right now. 1-run ball game. Maybe Vulture will win.
And Vulture, they're all the same.
Yeah,
they all count.
Well, when you're pitching out of the bullpen, is there any other way to get one other than Vulture one? Unless you're a closer, you don't really want wins. Yeah, it means you gave up the lead.
Here comes the payoff pitch. Alvarez goes, and Cedeno shoots it foul out of play. Well, the Pirates would love to pull this game out. Just love it. They would take all 3 series on this homestand if they would do that. Impressive sweep over the Diamondbacks, 2 of 3 for the second straight time against the Cardinals here.
They're playing their best baseball of the season right now.
3-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. Alvarez on the move to try to stay out of the double play. '27-year-old left-hander J-Hat. First Philly rookie with 12 wins since Jim Owens in 1959. Happ had 12 for the Phils last year. To third base, and Jones hung out. And the ball gets away! The ball game's tied! How do you like that?
think that's happened to us once or twice. Happened once in a recent road trip in New York, a similar play where the ball just wasn't caught. Jones is hung up. There's the throw, and it's just dropped.
Good throw by Johnson. Catcher Castro couldn't handle it.
He probably waited a little too long to make that throw, but still, you have to catch the baseball. The throw was right there, and he just dropped it.
Brand new ball game and a break for the Pirates.
Throw was late coming home, though.
1-1. Still one out, and Alvarez the go-ahead run at third base. Andy LaRoche takes ball one. Andy had an infield single in the second inning, and then grounded out to the shortstop Sanchez in the fourth. Good time now for another hit. Andy making his second start at first base. First, Cedeno back.
Yeah, a nice weekend for Andy. That pinch hit home run Friday night. If he can knock in the go-ahead run here, possibly the winning run.
Pirates on the board. Safe Auto Insurance reminds you you're safe at home with Safe Auto. Proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. 2-0. That could be a big weekend for Andy. And Andy tells a story of how his last name really might not be LaRoche. His dad, Dave, on his father's birth certificate, his last name is Garcia. And when Dave LaRoche was a kid, took the name of his father-in-law. And Andy hits one out to right field. Deep enough. Pence with the catch. Alvarez tags. He scores. Pirates lead.
Another way, Andy. Went the other way. Got the ball in the air. Drive that run in. Stay away from the ground ball. Don't want to hit it to a double play. Nice at bat. If you try and pull the ball, a lot of times you'll put it on the ground. You'll roll over. But he went the other direction. And was able to get it in the air, get that sacrifice fly.
The Pirates have pulled in front 2-1 here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Chris Snyder at the plate. And he will take inside ball one. So the tide has turned a little bit on the Astros. Big run batted in for Andy LaRoche. Pretty hard hit ball, but Bourgeois gets to it. And that does it. Pirates get 2 runs on one hit. There was an error. And a man left on base. Pirates are in front going to the seventh. there's the man behind the AGH cam, Ricky Rhodes, better known as Maul. Call him Ricky, might not answer. Gonna call him Maul. Right, Maul? Thanks to AGH Allegheny General Hospital for making the AGH cam possible for this season's telecast. Just an outstanding addition to FSN's telecast this year.
It really has been a great thing that they've added to the telecast. That's what he's got in the camera right now. ISO on Alvarez. Let's hope he hits a nice hot shot down there. That's what we're looking for.
We'll see it in slow motion.
Yeah. Pull him back a little bit.
And Johnson goes down on strikes. Mahalo makes quick work of the Astros third baseman, who's now 0 for 3 today.
Boy, Paul really looking sharp today.
6 strikeouts for him now.
Nice sharp breaking ball. That ball ends up down almost in the dirt as it's coming about 5 feet in front of the plate. It looks like it's still about a foot high. Good hard bite to that breaker.
Well, nice to see Paul come back out on the field with a lead. Pirates took to the 6th inning until they got a run, ended up getting 2. Lead it 2-1. Paul has done nice work against Houston, including pitching a complete game shutout against them here earlier in the year. 9-6 against the Astros in his career. Against them at PNC Park in 7 starts, has 2 complete games, and he's got strikeout number 7 as he gets Castro to chase. And that's going to do it for Jay Happ. See the strikeout of Castro there.
Happ's in a pitcher's duel, and he's losing right now. So he's going to have to give it up. See if the pinch hitter can do anything for him.
Matt Downs 2 for 12 as a pinch hitter. On the season, a .223 hitter. 1 home run, 7 runs batted in. Downs hitting with 2 outs. Takes that pitch a little bit high, ball 1. Last time Downs started a game was on the 17th of September against Cincinnati. Played second base. Came up on the 1st of September from AAA. And he was with John Bauker in San Francisco up until the 25th of August. He was waived by the Giants. And Houston made the waiver claim, and now Downs is a Houston Astro. Strike 2. Well, what a nice way to come back after the Pirates gave Mahal the lead.
Wyatt's got to be liking this. What do you think?
And it's pulled foul. So Mahal in the driver's seat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Down to third. Good hop for Alvarez. 1, 2, 3. Go the Astros to the top of the 7th. Pirates with a 2-1 lead as we've reached the 7th inning stretch. And we are going to keep it here for the singing of God Bless America. Michaela Harrington
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you now
will be our singer.
Join the Pirates and Major League Baseball as we remember the lives lost on September 11th, 2001, while offering support to our troops overseas. Here to lead us with God Bless America is Mike Luft. Mike is joined on the field by Chief Master Sergeant Barry Bertocchi. Sergeant Bertocchi has been a member of the United States Air Force for over 26 years and is currently based with the 911th Airlift Wing here in Pittsburgh. He has done 2 tours of duty in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom, and this week was awarded the Bronze Star Medal for his bravery and acts of merit.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Splash and the adoring throngs of fans that sit down below him. His people. It's just Steve in his way of giving back. He fires out souvenirs at him.
All the time during the 7th inning stretch. He's still throwing them. He must have 4 or 5 bags full of stuff.
Those ice cream bowls hurt when they hit you?
Good looking sweater vest he's got on today too.
Yes, yes indeed. This is
got a good flow going.
This is Steve's final game of the season, as he will not be traveling with us on the final road trip. So Steve having fun. Well, there's a tricky pirate.
Yes, he is. Oh, a hitch in his giddy up.
Mark Melanson pitching to Delwyn Young. Young hitting for Paul Maholm as we start the bottom of the 7th. 2-1 Pirates. Paul Maholm, good outing today. Threw 94 pitches, going 7 innings, giving up the 1 run on 6 hits. And he struck out 7.
a lot of innings pitched. What he has done, he's done well.
2-1 to Delwyn Young. Now the bullpens get working at this stage of the game. So Melanson in there for Jay Happ. Happ threw 101 pitches. And 61 of his 101 were for strikes. 3-1 now to Delwyn Young. Fernando Abad, the left-hander who worked on Friday night. And there was Evan Meek heating up for the Pirates. He would pitch the top of the 8th. And a walk to Delwyn Young.
Well, Paul certainly had a very productive afternoon. Just giving up that one. He had a lot of good, sharp breaking balls down. He was getting those strikeouts with. So this is two pretty good starts back to back here. If we can hold on to this 1-run lead for Paul, you see all those really good breaking balls that he threw today. This would be win number 9 for him, looking to get double figures. 1 start left.
Pinch runner for Delwyn Young is Pedro Siriaco.
Paul certainly did what he needed to do this afternoon.
Good speed on the base paths. Pirates fans have not seen a lot of Siriaco. We've seen a little bit of him and have been thoroughly impressed with the way he runs the bases. And there are some who say that he can rival Andrew McCutchen in terms of speed. That's saying something. Siriaco picked up in the trade with the Diamondbacks. Came over along with Chris Snyder for Bobby Crosby, Ryan Church, and DJ Carrasco at the deadline. Ball to McCutchen. Andrew's been on base 3 times. Walked in the first, hit by a pitch in the third, a base hit in the 5th. 5 for 9 in the series. McCutchen is trying to finish the month of September in a strong way. Base hit to left. And the Pirates have 2 on with nobody out. Second hit of the afternoon for McCutchen.
Batting average climbing. There's the pitch. Not too bad either. That looked like it was down, kind of middle of the outside half. Went down and got it. Siriaco can't really go anywhere with that one hopper onto left field. Some pretty good speed out there now, huh?
You get the back half of the 4x100 meter relay team out there right now. Well, Brad Mills coming out to visit. Or is he coming out to get him? One or the other. Looks more like a visit here. Because he's got a right-hander in Tabata coming up. He's got the lefty Abad warming and probably ready in the pen. And if they want to turn Walker around to bat right-handed next, that might be what Mills is thinking. With Walker and then the lefties Jones and Alvarez behind him. While we have just a second, let's check out the road ahead. Brought to you by your Western Pennsylvania Toyota dealer. Toyota moving forward. Tomorrow night, Busch Stadium, Kyle Loesch opposing Charlie Morton. And on Tuesday night, Brian Burris and Jeff Suppan. James McDonald and Adam Wainwright Wednesday afternoon.
20-win.
Wow. Yeah, 20-11. Coverage begins with the Trip Total Media Pirates pregame at 7:30, and 1 o'clock on those days. Tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Carlos Lee playing for the bunt, and Tabata squaring. Takes strike 1.
Quite a season for Wainwright, but he'll probably give up 1 or 2 of those wins for a playoff shot that they're not going to get now.
Yep, going to be all over for the Cardinals, although they're winning today 7-0 at Wrigley Field in the top of the 5th. Still not mathematically out of it, but judging from the way they were when they were here, you would think they had been.
It'd take a historic collapse for them to get in there now.
0-1. Tabata bunts a foul, and he's got an 0-2 count on it. Well, I mean, when you're putting a lineup out there with 5 September call-ups in it, it's not exactly oozing of a indication that that's a team in contention. And Tony La Russa decided that he was going to play the young guys instead, figuring it was over.
Well, they aren't in contention.
Well,
it is over.
It is. They'll get that little X on their name perhaps as soon as today if Cincinnati win. Oh, and 2. Siriaco the runner at second, and McCutchen is at first. And Tabata will swing away here. Mark Melancon looks at second. Now we'll come home. 1 ball, 2 strikes. During Tabata's initial campaign, a 400 hitter with runners in scoring position. 28 hits and 70 at bats. That's been an impressive part of his game. Now the 1-2 delivery from Melancon. Strike 3.
Tabata unable to move the runners up 90 feet.
We'll see what happens here. If Walker will be able to hit left-handed or if he'll be forced to turn around. Oh, they're going to turn him around. Here comes Brad Mills.
Not a good at bat for Tabata. You know, earlier in the year, I could understand turning him around. Right now, it doesn't look like it makes that much difference to Walker. Probably still a little bit better hitter left-handed, but doing okay from the right side.
Houston Astros have made the Columbia Gas 8-1-1 call to the pen. Fernando.
Yeah, I think Walker he has a lot of confidence as a right-hand hitter. He seems to have maybe a little more pop in his bat hitting right-handed. And the other night, he chose to hit right-handed off the knuckleballer, right, which I think shows you that he believes that might be a strong side for him.
Yeah, that was against the Mets' R.A. Dickey. Elected to hit right-handed against the right-handed knuckleballer. So the numbers, left-handed versus right-handed, as a right-handed hitter this year, Walker 31 out of 107 with 3 home runs. That's a .290 average. And .303 left-handed, so pretty close. 9 home runs.
There's not a whole lot of difference there.
Just a lot more at bats left-handed.
Yeah, if you looked at the slugging percentage, that's probably pretty close.
Fernando Abad.
Earlier in the year, there was about an 80-point difference after just taking a guess here, maybe his first 100 bats in the big leagues. And he has smoothed that out.
At this point in time, Walker has a good opportunity to drive in a key insurance run. That's Pedro Siriaco at second. McCutchen behind him at first. A pitch a ball. Vaughn pitched in the 7th inning on Friday night. Gave up a run on a hit. Walker flying out very deep to right center field against him. Jones would get a triple and Alvarez would score him on a sacrifice fly. So these guys faced him on Friday. 2-0. More activity. Wilton Lopez, who has been just stellar with runners on base in terms of stranding inherited runners. The Pirates would like to get one in before Lopez has to be called upon. Bottom of the 7th, 2-1 Bucks. 2-1 to Neal. Since the All-Star break, Neil Walker is tied for 7th in the National League with 47 runs batted in. Troy Tulowitzki leads with 61, but as far as rookies go since the All-Star break, he leads them all. Walker with 47, Gabby Sanchez of the Marlins next with 44. And Pedro Alvarez, 3rd on that list with 43. Tied with the Astros' 3rd baseman Chris Johnson, also with 43. Walker looking to drive in more. 1 out. A 2-ball, 1-strike count. Abad pitches on the corner for strike 2.
A little paint out there, right on the corner. A tough one really to go out and get. And if you get 2 strikes, you have no choice. You got to go after that pitch out on the corner. Got to enlarge your strike zone once I get 2 strikes on you. A little underneath that breaking ball.
Jason Castro got it flush on the mask. All right, 2-2. 2 on and 1 out. Fernando Abad's pitch. And Walker through the hole left side, a base hit. They're going to send Siriaco. Here he comes and he scores. It is 3-1. An RBI single for Neil Walker. Siriaco can fly.
And Walker can knock in some runs, can't he? A big clutch hit. It was a ground ball single, but he hit it hard through that hole. Lots of speed right there. Got that ball up, looked like it was a little above the belt.
Garrett Jones to center field. McCutchen halfway between second and third. He'll have to go back to the bag, and now there are 2 men out. Jones flies out. Jones 0 for 3 with a walk now. But remember, it was Garrett Jones who scored the tying run in the 6th. He was at third base. Ronnie Cedeno hit a chopper down to third, and Garrett took off on contact, got hung up. Chris Johnson threw a strike to the catcher Castro, perhaps a bit too late. Castro dropped the ball, charged with an error. Jones scored the tying run, and that's when the Pirates started to get things going.
And what really made that play was the fact that it was a 3-2 count. They were able to start Alvarez.
And Pedro swings and drives one deep to right. This ball is off the top of the wall. McCutchen scores. Here comes Walker in right behind him. A 2-on-2-run double for Pedro. El Toro getting it done. It is 5-1 Pirates.
Pretty much what we talked about at the top of the ball game. The top of the lineup. The young guys
really coming through. Here in September, this ball hit hard. Alvarez just not enough air under the ball to get it out of here. Good enough. Really, the young core players have been, look at their numbers. They've been solid offensively for most of the time since they've been up here. It's of late we're getting the pitching now to take advantage of what these guys are doing. There you saw a nice shot right there.
Mills comes out to get Abad. The Columbia Gas 8-1-1 call to the pen has been made again. Wilton Lopez replaces Fernando Abad. He'll face Ronnie Cedeno. Here's strike one. So Mark Melancon on the hook for 2 of the runs this inning. Abad for 1 so far. Book still open on him as Alvarez is at second, and the number is on Lopez.
Just before we went to a break, there was that picture at home plate. I mean, you talk about a picture telling a story. You get McCutchen in the shot, back to the camera, arms up, telling Walker to stand up as he's crossing the plate. That is kind of the story right there. It's what we've been talking about. The young core players getting it done.
There's no doubt this stretch of the season has been the Pirates' best of the season in terms of consistency.
Well, they've been getting pitching. As Walker, he's been doing it since he stepped on this field. The same thing can be said really for Tabata, pretty much for McCutchen. Jones has had his up and downs, but as I said earlier, his numbers aren't that bad. And then look at what Pedro's doing.
Johnson backs up a little bit. Throws out Cedeno. And that does it. Pirates get 3 more runs as Siriaco, McCutchen, and Walker all come across to score. That's what they want to do one more time in 2010 at PNC Park. will be in the batting order in the 7th spot. Garrett Jones moves from right field to first base. Those are the defensive changes for the Pirates as Angelo Roach has a seat. And now Evan Meek on to pitch the 8th after Paul Maholm went 7 strong.
Evan should hopefully cruise through this one. I don't know if he'll pitch the last 2. Or would it be Hanrahan in the 9th?
You'd think it would be Hanrahan. There's double barrel activity in the bullpen right now, but I don't know.
That's just some throwing getting done, probably.
Yeah, it looks like it's just some side work. Brad Lincoln is one. And Justin Thomas the other, righty and the lefty, down there working. Pirates with a 5-1 lead. Jason Bourgeois at the top of the order. Takes ball 1 from Evan Meek. Bourgeois has had to fill in center field for Michael Bourne, one of the speediest guys in baseball and the National League stolen base leaders. Bourne has a strained right oblique, missing his 7th straight game. So Bourgeois and Michaels have been splitting the time in the outfield, with Carlos Lee rotating back and forth between left field and first base. Three 3-0 now. Meek trying to find a strike. Sometimes it takes you a couple of pitches to find that strike, doesn't it?
Yeah, occasionally. It's hard to really put your finger on it, but
and there it is.
And then you just wonder to yourself, why didn't I just do that with the first pitch? Why did I wait till 3-0?
3-1. It's now 3-2.
Yeah, the times where it's a problem is when you're a visitor and the mound. There's a big difference between the visitor's warm-up mound and the game mound, and that can throw you off a little bit when you first get out there. Of course, that's not the case here. Meek very familiar with the bullpen and the game mound.
3-2, got him swinging, came all the way back from 3-0, and Super Meek strikes him out.
And I really don't think that's probably as much of a problem as it was maybe 30 years ago. With all these new ballparks, I think the bullpen mounds are of much higher quality than they used to be. Probably very similar to what each field has out there as their main mound.
Angel Sanchez, 1 ball, no strikes. Sanchez today 0 for 3, strikeout. Flied out to right in the 3rd inning and then hit into a fielder's choice in the 5th. .91 on the gun. Evan Meek, pretty good story. You could almost say he's a self-made guy because he was facing being out of baseball at one point. 1-1. Breaking ball. Looked pretty good, but called the ball. And then while in Seattle, found out he could get a San Diego Padres scout to look at him. He went and picked him up. Brought him to a local field. Had some of his buddies out there with bats in hand. And Padres scout liked what he saw. Ended up signing him. And then went from the Padres to the Tampa Bay Rays. Pirates picked him up from the Rays in the Rule 5 draft. And here he is in 2010, a National League All-Star. I'll guarantee you, when he was pitching on that mound for that scout with nobody around but the scout from the Padres, he never in a million years thought he'd be an All-Star.
He and Joel, both of them, are just a remarkable season this year. Very, very solid. And whichever player gets chosen as that closer for next year, it doesn't really make any difference. I think we're going to be in great hands in an 8th and 9th inning next season.
3-2, fouled back.
And they've handled just about every situation that's thrown at them. Not that they have had a bump in the road every now and then. That happens to the absolute best, and they've had their share. But when it comes down to the long run, looking at their entire body of work for the season, they've done just a fabulous job.
Meek ready to go, and the payoff pitch coming. That's ball 4. Meek tried to elevate it, got it up too high. Angel Sanchez walks. We'll bring up Hunter Pence. Pence with a hit today and a run scored. He's walked and flied to center.
Astros a pest.
A pest, yes.
Yes, he's been a pest.
He has been an absolute pest to the Pirates all year. Good fastball there at 93. Well, Hammerhand last night got one up to 98. Meek has done that on occasion this year. At least twice in Milwaukee got it to 98 miles an hour. That was back early in the season. Hunter Pence with an 0-1 count. 1-1. Pence is old school. He's got just one batting glove, doesn't use two. Chokes up a lot on the bat. Wears those socks up high. Somewhat of a throwback player. He may not have the most smooth technique in everything that he does, but he seems to get the results.
Yeah, he really does kind of do things in a different manner. But when he throws from the outfield, kind of almost a sidearm, like an infielder. So it looks like a second baseman maybe throwing out in right field, but you're right, he gets the job done. He's productive.
Up in the air to right center and deep. McCutcheon's going to watch it, and it's gone.
Got the job done there.
A 2-run home run for Hunter Pence. It's now 5-3. And Pence hits his 25th of the year. He's now sitting with 91 runs batted in, a new career high. The walk hurts too. Gives him the extra run.
Got that ball about belt high. And Pence, who, look how much he's choking up. He didn't have much bat left to work with, but still enough to get it. And that was well out. That was over that little wall that you see there, the wall behind the fence on that second level.
Strike one to Carlos Lee, 1 out. Now it's just a 2-run ball game.
Ball got up there just in front of the big iron gate.
Hunter Pence, another home run for him. He's been very good, as we've talked about. But just hit his 4th home run against the Pirates this year. Lee chases that one for strike 3. Meek now with 2 strikeouts. He'll face Jeff Keppinger. Keppinger, the hardest guy in the National League to strike out.
I heard that Lee might be using a replica Clemente bat today for the ball game. I don't really know if he is or not. Got a couple of hits anyway.
You've got your sources.
Gypsy told me.
Must be true. 1-1 the count now to Keppinger. So Evan Meek trying to get out of the inning. Has given up a 2-run blast after walking Sanchez. Pence gets the home run. And the 1-1. Keppinger ground ball directly at Cedeno. And that's it. So Meek gets him, but not after being touched up just a bit. And after 7.5, Pirates lead it 5-3. Keeps on going. His 42nd of the year. 3-run shot. Cards lead the Cubs. Nick Evans 2 for 4 for the Mets. Mets leading the Phillies. Freddie Sanchez a 2-run home run in the first. Giants on top of the Rockies 3-0 in the fourth. Rick Ankiel 2 for 3 for the Braves. A 2-run home run and a double. Braves trailing the Nationals 4-2 in the seventh. That's what's going on, in case you missed it, around Major League Baseball. Alex Presley will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, Bob Walk, Tim Neverett. Glad you are along this afternoon. Pirates trying to wrap up this homestand in good fashion. They've got a 2-run lead, 5-3. And Felipe Paulino is the pitcher. He delivers a strike. So Alex Presley came in to play right field. Jones moved over to first base, and LaRoche went to the bench last inning. Presley fouls it off. 0-2. Alex was Pittsburgh's minor league player of the year this year. Remarkable story. Finished the year last year in Lynchburg in Single A. Started this year in Double A. Was promoted from Altoona to Triple A Indianapolis. And just kept hitting the ball and was rewarded with a September call-up. Hoops this one down the third base side. Johnson giving it a look, but that'll be in the seats.
And it's looked pretty nice here. 5 for 16 with a double. And his first appearance up here in the big leagues. Not a whole lot of playing time, obviously, but still has impressed. Excellent speed.
You saw Joel Hanrahan loosening up. He'll pitch the ninth. Nobody on, nobody out, and Presley waits. Felipe Paulino's 0-2, fouled back.
One thing we wonder about every spring, who are the extra outfielders going to be? I'm sure we're going to be talking about Mr. Presley a little bit come March.
He's a guy who's played 4 levels of professional baseball over the last 2 summers. Peek in on the grip of Paulino. Inside for a ball, 1-2. Felipe Paulino, 26 years old, from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic originally. Now lives in Pearland, Texas. A little bit north of Houston. Same hometown as Pirates pitcher Brad Lincoln. 1-2 now to Alex Presley. And the 1-2 coming from Paulino. There's a base hit for Presley. He just keeps swinging the bat. Nice job for Presley. The Pirates with a man aboard.
It continues to improve and to impress. All down. It's not like he gets a lot of cheap ones either. Sometimes you see guys up there that aren't real big and they got real good speed, and you're talking a lot of infield hits, a lot of flares here and there, but on his base hits, he's centering the baseball and knocking it out there with some velocity.
Catcher Chris Snyder looks at ball one. Snyder's 0 for 3 today, lined out sharply to center field in the 6th inning. He's grounded out to first, flat out to left. Snyder looking to finish strong, get his bat going here. Paulino's 1-0. That gets away. And down to second goes Presley. And now a man in scoring position with nobody out. Presley good speed at second base.
Pitch shot. They would love to keep this game 2 runs and give himself a chance in the 9th. But they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot. I call that a wild pitch, huh? Threw it too hard. See how it bent the glove back?
It's a problem.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. 2-0 coming to Snyder. And he goes down the right field line. It's going to slice into the seats. 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, Snyder will get you a home run every once in a while. He's got 14 of them this year.
Not much for average, but pop in the bat, that's for sure.
Ryan Doman is out on deck. He would hit in the pitcher's spot, number 9. Snyder waiting. Presley off second base. Felipe Paulino ready to deal. Here's the 2-1. Ground ball to the left side. They're going to go to third. Presley is safe for third. He slid under the tag. Wow, that's a chancy play by Alex Presley, but it paid off for him, and there are now runners at first and third.
I don't think he wants to be doing this. He came out smelling like a rose, but a good throw, he's going to be out easy. That throw up a little high, and by the time Johnson brought it down, the right foot is on the bag. Good call by the umpire.
Alan Porter made the call.
Sometimes you'll get an out call there just because the throw beats you, but you could clearly see with the slow AGH cam that foot hit the bag just a split second before the tag.
Ryan Doman takes outside. Doman hitting .255 this year. We've seen this a lot later in the season with Doman coming in to hit behind Snyder in a pinch hitting role when Snyder plays, and oftentimes Doman will stay in the game defensively for the remainder of the ball game. Right field base hit. Presley's going to come in to score. Snyder round second, heading for third. An RBI base hit for Ryan Doman. 6-3 Pirates.
I gave up a couple of runs top of the inning. It looks like we're going to take them right back. Nobody out, first and third. Shaping up, maybe put a nice crooked number up. Doman jumping all over that first pitch. Whipping it down the line. Seeing that throw, throws it sidearm. I mean, he is the only outfielder I have ever seen with that kind of throwing motion. It's like he can't raise his right arm above his shoulder.
That's a heavy ball.
Every time I see him throw, I'm like, who decided when he was young that, hey, you're going to play the outfield?
I mean, he throws the exact opposite way they tell you to throw in the outfield.
Yeah, nobody would be taught to throw like that. The only guy that really throws sidearm most of the time would be a second baseman.
Infield is in. And McCutchen takes a strike. 1-1.
Watch this arm angle. No outfielder throws like this. As you said, though, hey, the guy gets it done. He finds a way. Especially, you wouldn't think a right fielder. That's where you normally you would put your big arm, is in right field.
Guys with the weaker arms are typically in left. McCutchen to the left side. Oh, what a stop by Sanchez. Throws home, and he's got slided. Terrific play by Angel Sanchez. Prevents a run, and there's now an out.
And they had an easy one earlier in the game, maybe the biggest play of this ball game, and they messed it up. This time, this is far from easy, and they pull it off. They get the out at the plate. Sanchez right there. I didn't think any way he was going to catch it. He did. Good throw to the plate.
You saw where Snyder hesitated when he came off the bag. So 2 on and 1 out. Bowman at second, McCutchen at first. Tabata takes inside. Pirates with a 6-3 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Left-hander is up now for the Astros, Tim Burdack. Joel Hanrahan has been throwing for the Pirates. There's Burdack. He in last night's game through a third of an inning. Two 2-0 to Tabata. Jose without a hit today. Like to get one here. He struck out his last 2 times up.
Batting average down to 301. Wants to keep it over 300. Keep getting the hits.
John Ho Park has joined Hanrahan in the bullpen. John Ho up for the 2nd time. So Paulino ready to go. Runners off first and second, the 2-0. Tabata let it go for a strike. Can remember a conversation 2 springs ago in Florida with John Russell about which player we thought he was impressed with. Who's been impressing you in spring training? Not this past spring, 2 springs ago. And he said, Tabata. Right away. He said, Jose Tabata. He said, this kid is something else. And while Jose wasn't ready to join the big league club last year, he certainly was this year. A bouncer to Sanchez. He feels the in-between hop. And Tabata safe. A base hit.
Not a ball you can afford to get nobody on.
He's now hit safely in all 9 games of this homestand.
Sanchez is going to second base, it looks like, with this ball. He looks to second. Couldn't get it done there. Ball kind of rolled up his chest a little. You know, I don't think that's knowing your runner. I think if you know Tabata's speed, which is kind of deceptive, you know you don't have time to be looking around. You got to go to first the whole time.
Tim Burdack has been summoned from the bullpen. Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen has been made. For a convertible Mini Cooper valued at over $27,000 was won by Maria Durant, courtesy of Mini of Pittsburgh. That's just one of the many great gifts. And Parrot, you don't know how to drive, Parrot. Just face it. But Maria does. She was very excited to win that. A lot of great prizes given out today, and when this game is over with, the players will be coming out on the field and taking the game jerseys off their backs and giving them to 35 lucky fans who have been called out by their ticket numbers. We're hoping to raise the Jolly Roger today for the 7th time in 9 games. Pirates with a 6-3 lead. 1 out, bases full for Neil Walker. Burdack delivers low. Well, they tried this in the 7th, Bob. They turned Neil around. They brought in Abad to face him, make him bat right-handed, and Neil delivered with an RBI single.
They hit the ball sharply, right in between shortstop, third baseman.
And Neil goes to right field and deep. Pence running after it. He won't get it. Dolmet's going to score. Here comes McCutchen in right behind him. A 2-run double for Neil Walker. He's got 3 RBIs today, and the Pirates have opened it up. It's 8-3.
Now, this is the way you want to close it out in front of the home fans. Not only a strong game, but a strong end of the game. We win this one going away. Walker just pounding this ball the other direction. Again, going the other direction, wanting to not put the ball on the ground. I like it when hitters try to go the other way when they have that runner at third and less than 2 outs. So much easier to lift the ball and get it to the outfield, and sometimes you center it like he did and it's extra bases.
Pittsburgh kid, Neil Walker. Double number 27. 62 RBIs now for Walker.
Yeah, he's going to have 90-some RBIs, I would think, for the year. When you combine what he did.
Garrett Jones got under it.
That'll be an RBI.
After Pence makes the catch. Here comes Tabata. It's 9-3. Sacrifice fly for Jones and RBI number 83.
I was about to say it's going to be 90-some RBIs, I would think, for Walker when it's all said and done this year. Combine those numbers. Jones. A very good homestand. Everybody. And because of the very, very good pitching we've been getting, all this offense is meaning something in that win-loss column, putting up wins. That's the bottom line of the whole operation. The team has to win more.
Pedro with a chance to drive somebody in here again. Alvarez has 2 runs batted in, and Pedro with a 3-hit day. Old and young, they like this group of Pirates. What they are going to be able to become, hopefully. They're starting to come together right now. Sweeping breaking ball from Tim Burdack. Big series for Pedro. 6 out of 11. Now the next step is to go out on the road for the final 7 and try to keep it going. That's the place the Pirates have struggled this year, is on the road, and heading out for 3 in St. Louis, 4 in Miami. See if they can finish up with a strong road trip. In spite of the record, Bob, there are many reasons for optimism. And one of the things the Pirates continue to talk about is you can't worry about yesterday. You got to look at tomorrow. today we're seeing a pretty good ball club.
Oh, they played well yesterday, too.
They did. Well enough. Alvarez way foul on the left side.
Speaking of yesterday, he had the big 3-run homer last night's ball game.
He did. There was a no-doubter over the Clemente wall out of the Pedro's porch.
But I agree with what the point you're making is, this season, the wins and losses are what they are. You can't change them now. There's nothing to do but, turn the page and look toward next season.
Alvarez strikes out. We'll go to the 9th. Pirates put 4 runs on the board. 9-3 Bucks. Nine-3 Pirates, and it's been an interesting homestand to say the least, because we're seeing the potential that the Pirates have with this young group of players, and they've all been coming through, it seems, day after day this past week.
It has been a great way to finish things here. It's been a tough season, that's for sure. Anybody that's followed us the whole year knows the story, but as we were talking right there at the end of last inning, you can't do anything about that now. This is a great way to end it. It really is, and perhaps gives you a little something for the wintertime to think about, to see what kind of changes the Pirates can make with perhaps maybe the pitching staff, because that, for me, is what we really need to do better. So,
Chan-Ho Park will face Jason Michaels here. Start the top half of the 9th inning. Sometimes you look up in the booth and you see somebody that you might not know, and that's Dash over here. That's Greg Simkovich, who is the manner of the iPod. He's got the iPad, rather.
Dash Riprock, by the way. That's
yes,
what I call him. Dash
Riprock.
It's got the profile.
Our stage manager does a great job for us all season long. And really a word of appreciation to our entire FSN crew here at PNC Park, who captures the sights and sounds of all of the games. Of course, we go right down the street to the FSN studios, and everybody behind the scenes there, and of course the guys on the set as well, and the folks like Rob King and Stan Savran and Paul Alexander.
No, we're not just saying this, but
Lacey Collins, who's now with them.
The crew here in Pittsburgh, the finest gypsies in the world.
Yeah.
They're really, there's no doubt, and like I said, I'm not just saying this. Everybody in the profession would agree. When it comes to cameramen, anything, Pittsburgh has the best.
Don't want to forget Dan Potash.
Nobody will ever forget Danny.
Bill Forsythe up here, our A2 in the booth. Like all the guys. We can't get to everybody, but we do appreciate all of your efforts. These are the guys who are outside during the rain delays, all the times when it's not so glamorous. 0-1.
95. About 80% humidity. All those times.
Yeah.
And then there's the gypsies in the trailer. They're in the air conditioning all the time.
Well, the band of traveling gypsies will be coming on the road with us to St. Louis and to Florida. And
Robo Gypsy.
Yeah, Robo Gypsy. Yeah, he agrees. Yes. Yep. You like that name? No. Yes, he does. He does. 1-2 pitch, and Johnson takes off.
I think that's our splash cam, isn't it? Up on the far right field corner. There's behind the plate. You can tell by the netting. Can't be too many places there's netting like that. There's the shot from the camera.
Ground ball is short.
That's why they have that camera there. That's a nice shot.
And he got him on the tag.
Now we're just showing off over there. Here at the end.
1 out to go. And the Pirates will have completed their best homestand of 2010.
Nice play by Jonesy. He's got that big wingspan. He gets up. Has to leave the bag and still got the tag down. Snow cone.
Pirates looking for their 12th series victory in 25 series here. 11-11-3 coming into this one. And with another out, we'll finish 40-41 at home. Jason Castro, ball and a strike. Fan Appreciation Day today. Fans got a good one. Well, hairy for a while. Pirates didn't get a run until the 6th. They put 2 up in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, and 4 in the 8th. And a fly ball deep to right field. Presley's going to have to play it off the wall. And Castro, trying to spoil the fun, gets a double. And Castro, after a tough day, who struck out 3 times, gets his 8th double of the season.
Just trying to prolong it a little bit.
Send up Brian Bogusevic to hit. Coming up after the game, our AGH Sports Medicine Pirates post-game show. Highlights and analysis of this one. And a lot to break down, especially from the last half of the game. Chan-Ho Park trying to finish it up. Castro at second base, not a worry. Stretching the pitch. There's a strike. Bogusevic, a 278 hitter.
Everybody up on their feet. Look, a ton of people in Pirates gear today. At least half the crowd wearing some sort of black and gold. Most of them Pirate shirts. A lot of fun here on the last home game of the season.
Paul Maholm looking for his 9th. A lot of young fans, and it's everybody's hope that those young fans will get to see the Pirates return to their winning ways soon.
The Pirates have done a great job making Sundays really a fun experience for the little ones here at the ballpark.
Kids get to run the bases one final time here in 2010 when the game is over. 2-1 pitch. Way inside, 3-1. Brian Bogusevic rather is ahead of the count, 3-1. And see, there's a good sight. A young fan keeping a scorebook. So all the colored in diamonds, those are the Pirates' runs.
Yeah, a lot of runs today to color in.
And he's checking Houston's side. Three-1. And he walked him. And now 2 men on him, 2 out. Not over yet. They want to raise it.
Be patient. Be patient. It's ready. It's all hooked up and ready to go to the top of the pole.
He'll be back. He's looking forward to the Boston series in June.
Well, he knows school will be out then.
He's read the schedule already.
Yep.
No doubt about that. During the last series, everybody got magnetic schedules for 2011 from PNC. And so now everybody knows opening day, April 7th against Colorado here at PNC Park. Opener on the road, April 1st against Chicago. Houston down to their final strike. 0-2. 2 on, 2 out. HOU Park ready. Here's the pitch. Couldn't get him to chase it. And Snyder ends up doing the chasing. 9-3 Pirates trying to wrap it up. Paul Mulholland looking for win number 9, and he's right on the cusp.
One-run ball game when he came out. He had to kind of sweat it out a little bit, but now very comfortable 6-run cushion. Just 1 out to get.
One and 2 to Bourgeois. Bourgeois had a base hit in the 5th inning. 1 for 4. He struck out his last time up in the 8th. HOU Park would like to get him here. Castro at second. Bogusevic is at first. Park delivers 1-2. 2-2. Fans wanted Field and Culbreth to ring him up.
Seems like we're drawing out this dramatic ending a little too far. We do it right here.
Up in the air it goes. Shallow right center field. Long run for Presley. He's got it. And the ball game is over. Paul Mulholland gets the victory. And the Pirates have finished up their home portion of the schedule in impressive fashion, coming from behind. The
there it is.
One, and the Jolly Roger goes up the flagpole. Outstanding work today by the Pirates.
Been a lot of fun during this homestand, and having this real good starting pitching that we've been able to take advantage of with a lot of offense, and seeing the young guys come through night after night with big important hits. And a heck of a show here to end the season. Hopefully we can take it on the road for one more week.
So the players now are going to go out on the field, line up, and they'll take their jerseys off once the 35 lucky fans come down to get them. Literally the shirts off their backs today. So that does it for today's game coverage. The next broadcast of Pirates baseball tomorrow night as the Bucs begin their final road trip of 2010, with the first of 3 against the St. Louis Cardinals. Charlie Morton will take on Kyle Loesch. Our coverage begins with the Trip Total Media Pirates pregame beginning at 7:30. Greg Brown and Bob Walk have the call at 8. Our final score, the Pirates 9 and the Astros 3. For Bob Walk and our entire FSN crew, thanks for watching. I'm Tim Everett. Stay tuned. The AGH Sports Medicine Pirates postgame begins right now. The Bucs go 7-2 on their last